Hello, I'm Amy from mmtoolparts.com. Today I'm going to show you how to repair your Dewalt drill by replacing your carbon brushes. Many of you may wonder when it's time to replace your carbon brushes. Well, the easiest answer is when you can hear it. There are three different things that you may notice with your drill that may require the brushes to be replaced. First off, you'll notice that it starts to sputter. It'll be inconsistent with the sound. You'll notice that it's not quite sounding the way that it should sound. The second way is if it doesn't work. If you don't hear any sound, then you know it's either the battery, which you can easily check, and if it's not the battery, you'll know it's most likely the brushes. The third will be, some of you may know the old trick of tapping on the brushes to see if it works. You can tap and it will work for a minute or so. That's another way to know that your brushes do need to be replaced. First, we're going to want to remove the housing. There are screws placed throughout the side that we'll want to remove in order to remove the housing. Once you've removed all of the screws, you'll want to get a screwdriver or something just to kind of leverage. Put it right under the switch here. And then put that to the side. You'll see once you open the drill that everything is connected, which means that it might present a problem when you're replacing a part. You'll need to make sure you understand where everything goes properly. A nice way to make sure you're doing this is to have a schematic handy. We have these schematics on our site at mmtoolparts.com. You can find schematics for all tools, but it's nice to see how things go and make sure that you're putting the tool back together properly. You can also find your parts from the schematic and make sure that you're using the correct parts. Brushes are under, I think this brush is under $8, so it's an inexpensive way for you to fix your tool. In this case, the motor, the armature, and the brush holder and brushes are all connected. So I'm going to want to wiggle the brush holder out of the slot as I attempt to wiggle the motor and the armature. Once I do, you can see that they're all connected, and yet they're separate. So we'll remove the armature and the motor. And there we have the brush holder and the brushes. It's nice to have needle nose pliers for this. Kind of just pull those off. Once you have the brushes and the brush holder removed, this one is connected. A lot of times they separate, but this one is connected, so it's just one full piece. We'll want to go ahead and get the new part and the new brush and brush holder and replace that. Now it's time to assemble the motor and the armature with the brush holder. Use your fingers to pry this open. Stick that on there and wedge the brush holder back into its slot. You'll want to make sure that the motor and the armature also stay in the correct position so it fits in there nice and snug, which it does. Now you'll want to make sure that the switch, which most likely has been displaced, is properly in the tool as well. It's very common for the forward and reverse selector to juggle around and be displaced. So we'll go ahead and make sure our switch is in there nicely. Make sure this wire's tucked back. Put the forward and reverse selector in there. And properly put the switch into that mechanism. Can you see that? Okay. and push down. And we can use a little screwdriver, help get these wires back out of the way so when we fit the housing back on, we won't have any trouble. Okay, once everything looks like it's in place, you know it's properly secure, you can go ahead and put the housing back on. Don't be afraid to give it a little tap. And then of course replace all the screws. You will notice there's a little bit of a gap after you put the housing on, but as you tighten the screws, the housings will come together and be nice and snug. All right, and now the test is, see if it works. The nice thing about replacing your own brushes in your tool is that the repair only takes 5 minutes, depending on how fast you are, and the repair part replacement is less than $10. I think this particular one is even under $8. So within a few minutes, a few dollars, you can have your drill up and running. Thanks for viewing our video. You can find videos like this on our site at mmtoolparts.com. You'll also find schematics, replacement parts, and anything else that you need. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them or give us a call.